reside in that law carries us perfectly. So God's world is perfect. God's world is perfect. It began and it remains perfect. And you and I are born out of this perfection, which I like to call potentiality. I love that word, potentiality, because it's big. You know, I like to think the person you're with today in your life, who knew? Who knew years ago you would be here, maybe even here now, with yourself? Your truly best partner is yourself. And the person you bring into it, that other part of the two, is an idea of your completeness. Did you know that? And so many times it takes seemingly a lifetime to get this right. But it's always right where it is, because it brings us to where it is now. So you and I are born out of this perfection, this so-called potentiality. Potential is that which is possible. That which is possible. What's possible in your mind? Is it this much? Is it this much? Or is it this much? What's possible to you? It's all okay. It's all okay when you're comfortable with your possibilities. Don't ever let anyone tell you what your possibility is not any good. That's up to you. It's always up to you. You and I are born into perfect evolution and perfect possibility. We're born into that. We are born into that. We demonstrate this perfection through the time and experience, through living and loving and giving toward all of our dreams, so that, what? They come true for us. So this is what is true for us now. Your life right now is what's true for you. And with acceptance of that, we're conscious. We get to make choices from a conscious state of being, not from the confusion, not from the denial. Reverend Louis often reminds us, we must first come true to our desires, which means we must come into alignment with our ideas and our dreams. Coming true to something is saying, yeah, I recognize that as mine. And to make our dreams come to it, what? It takes two. It takes two. Recognition and commitment. We have to commit to whatever it is we want to have more of. The love you are, in this case, is one of the two. And the law of the Spirit is the other. Because when our motivations are backed by unconditional love, the boundless potential of the law of Spirit shows itself magnificently. I'll love you if you change your hair. I'll love you if you walk a different way. I'll love you if you hit me. People do this. People do. They put up with things because that's what they think they are. It takes two to make that dream come true. In the Science of Mind, our founder again tells us, it has been proven that by thinking correctly and by a conscious mental use of the law of mind, we can use it to do definite things for us and through us. It must work through us. It must work through us. It doesn't even have to do all the work physically. I was guilty of that for a lot of years. I had to do all the physical work too of my life, until I came to an agreement with myself that, you know what? There are people in the world that want to be part of this even, to be part of the church, to be part of the community, that want to step up and say, I love this community. I want to be a part of it. I want to commit, my gift because it feels good. And it's recognized here as the gift that it is. So it must work through us, always through us. It takes two as one. Here's the idea of that. Conscious idea, our own clear conscious idea, plus the law of mind equals now. Now as one. Through you and as you. Through me and as me. Life is always demonstrating itself through every decision we make. Not alongside or handed to us by someone else. We've accepted that in what I have. I've accepted handed over ideas, false beliefs, ways of living, ways of believing. Some work, some don't. A mentor is one thing. A mentor is one who gives you the gift to better your life. And sometimes when we hear that mentor speaking, we think, oh, wow, that's not true. But it is. That's the time for change. And it's how we use this law that works through us. It's how we use it. We must use it consciously, clearly, and with absolute authority of its demonstration. Ernest Holmes tells us to change our consciousness and the false conditions disappear. Change our consciousness and everything that is unlike that newness in our minds and our desires falls away. I look around the room and I see several of you that I know who've had this demonstration many, many times. You change what you think about yourself and your life, and all that doesn't apply falls away. Friends leave you. Happened to me with ministry. Couldn't accept it. They were uncomfortable. And I know that happens. But when your life changes, conditions change. New friends come on board. It's a wonderful process. But you have to be true to yourself, without fear, without doubt, with absolute authority. That is what you want. It's what you want. It takes two. You as your word. Not two parts, two aspects of you as one. And the law as a complete manifesting mechanism always comes through. This mechanism is forever working. It's working in us. But it will not show its greatness until we let it work. We let it work. The old example of electricity. We can turn off the switch and it may appear dark. And it is dark. Where'd the electricity go? It's still there. But you have to make a conscious choice to turn on the switch. Ernest Holmes tells us again, the word has power only as it is one with power. The word has power only as it is one with power. The word is a model and a mold which decides what form the thought is to take as it assumes shape and becomes part of our conditions. The word gives form to the unformed. When I first started in Science of Mind, there's a prayer we call treatment. And those of you that are new to this teaching this morning got to hear that form of prayer. It's affirmative. It's not wishy-washy. It's not arrogant. It's knowing. And that is the clarity with which to do life. And that's the word, that's the knowing, that's the consciousness that allows the form to come into being. Now, it might take longer than 5 minutes to come into form, depending on what it is, and the ability for us to really know that. But it's important to begin. It's important to begin. The Word gives form to the unformed. And the greater the consciousness behind the Word, Ernest goes on to say, the more power it will have. Just the words without conviction have no power. And just the conviction without the words will never stir up latent energy. There must be a combination of the two to make a thing complete. It takes two to make a dream come true. In the Bible, Matthew 18:20, for where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am. The Word and the law, powered with universal consciousness behind the Word, our Word, the Word of God, there God is. There in the manifesting form of life, its latent energy becomes realized. So, my friends, my beloveds, my community, I urge you to stir up your life with greater conviction and awareness of the power that lies within you. There's no one person that has more power, but there are people who use the power more consciously, who direct it clearly. And you think, wow, look at them. Yeah, look at them. Take a look at that person. Someone you admire as a person that you would like to maybe learn from. Ask questions. I was taught as a child when I would say, oh, Mom, Dad, look at that car they're driving. They would say, you can have that. Have whatever you want. Go find out what they do. See how they did that. How they got there. How they got those plants to grow a certain way. You can't just go, I'd like to have a car. I'd like to grow some daisies. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to get up off yourself and go to the store, do the research, understand how it's done, and then go do that. That's part of the work that we must do. So I would like to close with us affirming these words. So if you would like to repeat after me. There is only one life.
There is only one life.
This life is God's life.
This life is God's life.
And this is my life.
And this is my life.
Right now.
Right now.
Thank you. So whether it's ham and eggs, bread and butter, yin or yang, it's all cause and effect, love and law. You and me in one community. Namaste. Namaste. So it is. I would like to invite the ushers to come forward, please. This is the time where we give our gift to the center. And as you know from Reverend Louis' announcements, that we do give out into the world in those wonderful times that people require some assistance. And so we send